It's NBA action on EA Sports. I'm Ed Cohen. Great to be joined by Jay Williams for what should be a terrific matchup here tonight. We are at United Center in the Windy City. Tonight, the Chicago Bulls taking on the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets control. Walker. Lauri Markkanen rejects it.
Ed, that's light work for a guy with his ability.
To Porter. Otto Porter missed his first. That one goes.
There's certain guys in this league that should be put on alert status 24/7 because either they're posterizing you or that attempt can still be a poster.
Robin Lopez with a piece.
Don't stare him down like that afterwards.
Walker. Short jumper won't go down. To Lopez. Lays it up and in.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
Walker into the front court. They're down 3. Miles Bridges to Kemba Walker. Give it to him. Kemba Walker. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make.
When I think about Kemba Walker, I think about a self-made elite PG. He's a little guy that thrives amongst the NBA giants, and he's fearless. Let me tell you about how fearless he is. Even Alvin Gentry said he's probably the biggest competitor he's ever seen. You could put him right up there with the likes of Kobe Bryant from a competitive standpoint. That goes to show you that Walker will do anything and everything to beat you every possession.
Walker buries it on the catch and shoot.
Ooh, that confidence level is so superior. Whenever you start dragging back on defense before the ball even goes through the net, that speaks for itself.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc, smothering D.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball, let him prove that it wasn't the D, it was more in his own head.
Bulls have it. To Markkanen. And a putback slam.
A lot of players lift weights, but who cares if you lift weights if you don't use that huge upper body? Great job using that big frame.
Across the timeline, it's Walker. Leads a bucket. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
Curling inside. Cashes in for 2.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
To Walker. Miles Bridges to Kemba Walker. The drive right to the basket. He was hacked. They let it go. Goes to the left side. Porter. Otto Porter. 2 for 3 now here in the first.
That shot was nice, but that pass, that was the real highlight. Good teams always find a way to get the best shot available.
And an 8-second violation. It's going the other way. From long range. Shot off the mark. Good defense. Walker with the basketball. 14-13 our score. It's a 1-point game. Just enough of a head fake to help on that one.
The okey doke. Let's see if he'll try that one again.
From the painted area, won't go down. Miles Bridges to Walker. For 3. They dared him, and he burns them.
Great shot by the offense, but the defense, you can't afford to collapse off that penetration. I'd rather a team take a tough 2 than a wide open 3.
Otto Porter 3 for 4. Good start.
Everything about Porter is so low-key. No social media, and he's one of the few high-caliber NBA players that manages to stay out of the public eye while producing at an elite level in a number of categories.
And a pass taken away by Charlotte. To Kemba Walker. Oh, great pass, setting up the basket.
And here's a next-level comment for you. K-Walk is one of the rare guys in the league today that blurs the lines between the streets and the league.
Marking it. Going to launch beyond the arc. Great defense, forcing the miss.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Fires the 3. He made his first effort, but not that time. To Porter for 3. He made his first effort, but not that time. Robin Lopez, 3 for 3. That's a perfect start.
I'm not sure that wasn't an offensive foul, but take it when you can get it.
Into the front court, it's Walker. They lead it, 4-point game. Short jumper, won't fall.
And it's never a great thing when you're talking to yourself the entire next possession about the shot you just missed. Now you know you're in that player's head mentally.
Walker into the front court. He'll run the offense. And now he's going to shoot a few more as he's fouled going up for it.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number 1, to see if they'll get caught. And number 2, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
Oops, he missed the first one. Second one's good. Splits the pair. Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
Hornets have the basketball. Walker. Offensive board. Yes, and a foul. He'll have a chance at a three-point play.
Ed, you ever bail out of something at the last second? That's what I saw right there from the defender. We call that no man's land. They weren't really committed to getting out of the way, committing a hard foul, or taking the brunt of the contact.
Free throw good as he completes the three-point play. The lead is up to 6. No good. Oh, it looked like he may have gotten him there. Gets it in the left corner. Drive on the baseline, but his shot stays out.
That's superb defense. That's a defense getting there from the weak side early and making the player short on the shot.
Lets it fly from long range. Can't get the bounce.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Charlotte with the basketball. Robin Lopez able to recover with the block.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
Wide open. Too easy. You can't give him that look.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Beyond the arc for 3. That won't go. To Markkanen. Otto Porter. He's now 4 for 6.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
Across the timeline, it's Walker. Up 6. That's no good. Porter. Finish that.
And that's how you make a difference. Every shot that the offense takes, make sure that it has a 10 as far as degree of difficulty.
Knocked loose. Bulls have it. Wide open look, won't go.
Well, the shots aren't falling, but that's okay. Let the defense keep opening up that door. Sooner or later, you're going to walk through.
Robin Lopez pins it.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Takes it right to the rim. A lot of contact there, but they say no foul.
You see, here's why versatility is so imperative for your offensive repertoire. If you're a one-trick pony as a defender, I know exactly how to defend you because you only do one thing. But if you have versatility, then the coach can put you in multiple looks within the offense, and then you can get it any way you want it.
Shot from the lane won't go. Yes, and the foul, and a chance at 3 coming up.
And I know there's so much excitement about the play, but everybody looks at the player. More people need to pay attention to the guy at the end of the bench, the strength and conditioning coach, because this kid's been putting in the time and effort every day in the weight room.
The free throw is good. It's back to a 1-point game. Hornets at the controls of this one. Won't go. Count the basket at the rim.
These two teams are matching basket for basket. If the pace of the game is going to be like this, I need to start stretching.
Walker with the basketball. Shot clock off as they look for a go-ahead bucket. Down a point. The Bulls with the rebound. Off the assist.
The assist from number 6.
Desperation shot here from half court. And so we're through one here at United Center with the Bulls on top. Jay and I come back to the Windy City after this. You're tuned into the NBA on EA Sports. 1 quarter down. Long way to go. So buckle up.
Hey, it's our game. Let's take it home now. Let's go.
Stepping in for the Hornets, number 40, Cody Zeller. Subbing in for the Chicago Bulls,
Parker to the basket, but a shot misses.
I got ball. It's all me. I got ball. I got ball. That's me.
And a nice finish at the rim. Now a timeout from the Hornets coach as he'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Parker. Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
And the defense keeps sticking to those flare screens. Just don't flare out to the three-point line. Flare to the rim for a lob.
To Zach LaVine. Fires the 3. Zach LaVine forcing that one there. Well defended.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Batum to Parker. 5 on the shot clock. 24-second violation. Jay, 27 wins a year ago for the Bulls. What can this team be?
They have the potential to be a playoff team, but in order for that to happen, a lot of guys need to take that major next step in their careers. Lauri Markkanen needs to step up. Chris Dunn, his backup role, what position will he play at the PG spot? Wendell Carter, their first-round draft pick, and also Jabari Parker. He is the key cog in this wheel. If he is healthy and plays to the level of expectation that we know he can, this team can make the playoffs.
To the rim, lays it up and in.
There you go. I like seeing his scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Here's a chance from long range. Now that's a contest. To Parker. Give him 2 points. High percentage.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Show me something better than that, baby. You can't come. My ball.
To Parker.
Screen coming right, screen coming right.
Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Cody Zeller. To Chris Dunn. Gets to the basket and scores.
For a smaller player, you have to be more creative with your imagination when you finish with those shots around the rim. For the audience, that may look difficult, but for the player himself, that's what they practice every single day.
Here comes the screen. Parker. A bad pass, and the Bulls have it.
Come on, let's dig in. Let's really build this lead.
Gets a look. Can't hit.
Misses happen. Don't put your head down. Let that motivate you in the defensive end. Use it for something positive.
Batum. To Parker. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. And Tony Parker. He's done it so many times. In rhythm, knocks it down.
And I don't know why the defense continues to help on guys that drive. Make them take shots over your bigs. By you helping more, you're just leaving three-point shooters open on the perimeter.
Hornets right now in possession. Tony Parker. That's 3 now on 4 shots.
Come on, somebody tell me when he added that to his arsenal.
Pass stolen by the Hornets.
That's called game plan execution to perfection. Every possession on the road is critical.
Doesn't have the touch. No good. Parker with it. Leads just a point. To Nick Batum. To Parker. Rebound comes to Chicago. The pass set it all up.
So many people think making assists is creating something razzle and dazzle. Sometimes giving the ball up early is the right play and the most efficient.
Tony Parker, 4 out of 7.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
To Wendell Carter. Yes, and a foul. Hell of a chance at a 3-point play.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball. But sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Wendell Carter trying to cash in on the 3-point play. He's perfect from the line so far. Free throw up and good. Gives him a 2-point lead. To Parker. Tony Parker with that shot. He's 5 for 8.
Big shout out to the athletic trainer for this team. It's obvious you've been doing all the preparation required of your team in the weight room in the offseason. Flex on them a little bit.
To Parker. From long range. Off the iron. No good. Count the basket.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Number 32, Chris Dunn.
I got mine. Y'all get yours. I got mine.
To Parker. Count it.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
I'm deep. 5 on. Mess up.
Has a chance. Gets a shot up off the mark.
And that's next level defense. The defender took away the pocket space of the shooter. Now, as a shooter, they shoot hundreds of shots each and every day from that pocket with consistency. Now you force them to change the angle or the positioning of that pocket, you're going to lower the chances of them making that shot.
Not that time. Oh, they call him for the foul.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
Looks like both teams are making substitutions. Couldn't keep.
Yeah, baby, here we go. Substitutions.
Into the front court, it's Walker. His guys now trailing by a point. Goes to the left side. 4-3. No good. To Markkanen. Porter. Count the basket. A lot of contact. No foul.
Stepping east, then stepping west, and laying the ball right down the line.
Covering all areas of the map. Lauri Markkanen. Huge block.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
Now ready with a couple of free throws.
The game is too tight for you to be taking risks like that. You want to avoid foul trouble at all costs.
For Charlotte.
Marvin Williams. He's got 2 shots coming. For his career, 80% at the line. So he hits the first, misses the second.
You gotta get up on that.
Marvin Williams snatching it out of the air.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Charlotte basketball. Probing the defense. To Walker. Going to launch. Beyond the arc. And Kemba Walker. Muscle memory put to good use there.
I know there are refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
To Lopez. Scores from the post.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
I got him. Here we go.
Fires the 3. Buries it.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Walker. Calls out of bounds. Last touch by Kemba Walker. For 3. Well defended.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Can't connect. Shot misses there by Valentine.
And it's never a great thing when you're talking to yourself the entire next possession about the shot you just missed. Now you know you're in that player's head mentally.
Nice pass to set things up.
Look, the most efficient offenses are the ones with the highest number of assists. There are only 5 teams in the league that average 25 assists or more.
Finishing inside the paint on that one.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Has a look. Add 2 points to the board.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Bulls with the rock. To Porter.
I got him. I got ball. I got ball.
Lets it fly from long range. He was all over him. Walker into the front court. His guys trail now by 4. Beyond the arc for 3. Buries it on the catch and shoot.
And your big is the one making that happen. Every time he's involved in a PNR, he's slipping it, forcing that guy from the weak side to come down and help. Quick skip passes equal threes in the bank.
To Lopez. Cruises inside for 2.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
To Kemba Walker. Miles Bridges. To Walker. Layup's good. Those are the types of shots you always strive for.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Fires the 3. Can't connect. It's no good.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
Hornets have the basketball. To Miles Bridges. Almost unlucky bounce. Now the Bulls will take the timeout as they'll discuss matters in what's now a 3-point game. To Markkanen. Robin Lopez. He's now shooting 5 for 7.
Old school equals high percentage.
Across the timeline, it's Walker. The deficit now up to 5. And he finishes at the rim.
And sometimes less is more. Keeping it simple is the best way.
To Markkanen. Lopez. Here's a chance from long range. Misfires. It's no good. In a flash. Scores at the rim.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Here we go. I got it.
To Markkanen. Off the mark.
Your contest was great because of your proximity to the player. You forced his follow-through to be cut short, which made him short-arm the shot.
Down the lane to lay it in.
And attention to detail is everything for a professional scorer like that. Actually getting it done the hard way there.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Yes. Give the advantage to the shooter.
Well, there you have it. The defense just took notice of this young player on that previous shot. Guarantee you they won't leave him open next time.
Nice finish at the rim.
Here's lesson number 1. When you allow a player like that the freedom of space to dance with the ball, there's no telling what kind of break dance move they might hit you with.
Marvin Williams sends it away.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Knocked loose. That's a turnover. It goes the other way.
Tie ball game. Make this possession count.
From long range, that's how you defend. Walker with the basketball. Our score all even in this third quarter. To Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges slams it down. He climbed the ladder on that one.
Well, the question is, how big is the ladder? He's still climbing.
Chicago possession. To Porter. 4-3. That's the length at his spot for Otto Porter. Man on him, he still buries it.
And if you're on D right now, if you're off on the weak side, stunt towards the driver. That means fake at him. Don't overcommit. Stunt, then get back to your stay at home. Force him to make one of those passes or force him to take a crazy shot at the rim.
Now whistle. We'll get a timeout called by Chicago as they'll talk things over in a one-point basketball game. Some lineup changes now. To Wendell Carter. Too much contact, and free throws coming.
This drives me nuts when I see fouls like that being called in a close game. Sometimes you just gotta let them play, ref.
Team foul number 2 for the Chicago.
Wendell Carter at the line for 2 shots. Hasn't missed yet. And he connects on the first free throw. No good on the second. It's a 1 of 2 trip. Missed it. How'd that not go down? And a pass taken away by Charlotte.
Neck and neck. They couldn't get anything on that possession. Let's see if we can get a bucket in transition.
To Parker. And a whistle.
That's just a blatant foul. Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
First try at the line, no good. Oh, he missed the...
Substitutions. Entering the game.
The pass stolen by the Hornets.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
Parker into the front court. Down 4. Perfect feed to set up the basket.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
Deep left corner. Charlotte with the basketball. To Parker. There's a pass stolen by Chicago.
You got to go for the score here right now in this possession.
And count the basket.
There's something to be said about a guy that can make the game easier for everybody else on the court. We call that dropping dimes, very similar to the way I'm dropping nuggets on this broadcast.
Parker to the basket, but a shot won't go down.
And you see so many players quit on a play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. That's great defense.
Able to convert inside.
You've heard it before. Slow and steady wins the race. This approach might be working out after all.
Knocks it down from mid-range.
That might have been a little bit easier than expected there, considering the score.
Parker with it, trailing by 4. The screen sets him up for 2.
The defense should have picked up on that action. That's going to cost them.
Here we go. I got him.
Shot clock coming down to 4. Down to 3. Oh, that's how it's done.
Don't seem shocked. This is how the game is played these days. Shooting a 3 is like shooting a layup.
Hornets at the controls of this one. Sizing up the defense. Lamb matched up with Luwawu Cabarro. From the painted area, won't go down. Grabs his own miss and scores. Good concentration.
Did you see that change of direction mid-flight? And also the English he utilized to spin the ball off the rim? That was a thing of beauty.
Going to launch beyond the arc. That's good D. Shot no good.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
Knocks down the first. Goes 2 for 2. Goes to the left side. To Markkanen. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
They're going to make some changes with some new personnel on the floor. Wendell Carter at the line for a chance at a 3-point play, shooting 80% in this contest. To Parker. And scores.
Hand down, man down. You got to get up and contest the shot.
Great defense there, forcing the pickup. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in the defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
Knocks it down.
And in today's game, you have to make shots like that. Nice work draining it from deep.
Fires the 3. Can't go down. Smothering defense. And the basket good at the rim.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. To Porter. Levine. Layup goes down. Well done.
Strong finish. That's what you need, regardless of contact, focusing on the rim.
Parker into the front court. His guys now trailing by a point. Lamb against Porter. Short jumper off the mark. Bulls with it.
Let's go. Pick him up. Pick him up.
To Markkanen. Almost, and he's not getting the call. Oh, Carter with the rejection.
Oh, he blocked that with authority. Oh, denied. As my old teammate RJ would say, stay down, clown.
Parker. Pulled in by Porter. To Levine. The shot, almost.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
The rebound cleared by the Bulls. Carter to Markkanen. Billy Hernan-Gomez with the block.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to... Oh, he sent that one to the third row.
He was locked in. That was impressive. Shot clock to 4 for Charlotte. For 3, knocks it down. And Jay, so much better to get that shot beyond the arc than inside 22 feet.
Well, that change is inevitable. And one of the things that continues to fascinate me about this game, usually when you see a good three-point shooting team, their shoulders are square to the basket. That's no longer the case in today's game. These guys are off balance, they're moving different ways, yet they still have extreme shot-making ability.
To Parker. The Hornets with 4 to shoot. With the fadeaway. Burns him for the basket.
When I played, and I see guys do this all the time, when you shoot, the target isn't the basket. The target is actually before you even go into the shot. The target are your hands defensively. If your hands are down and you give me clear vision towards the bucket, that shot's definitely going up.
Parker. Gets a look. Can't hit.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Looks like some substitutions are coming on in. Wendell Carter trying to cash in on the three-point play. He's been steady, 83% at the line. Hornets right now in possession to Parker. Why even try that time?
I'm going to start calling him the windshield wiper, just erasing all the mistakes.
And a pass taken away by Charlotte.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you will be able to stop a great passing team.
He'll go to the foul line to shoot.
I'm watching the coach's reaction right now, and I'll tell you, he's not going to be happy about that. The game comes down to the micro details. That wasn't a part of the plan right there.
Tony Parker, couple of free throws on the way. Shooting 50%, some yes, some no in this contest. Can't connect on the second, and he splits the pair. To Zach LaVine. Unbothered by the defense as he drills it. Parker with it. His guys trail now by 4. To Batum. Lets it fly from long range. Nick Batum forcing that one. No good. LaVine. Beyond the arc for 3. Oh, could have sealed it, but it's no good.
Shooters shoot, period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Parker. Oh, he's denied.
Oh, big man doing work right there.
Markkanen. Fires the 3. Oh, could have sealed it, but it's no good.
Who gonna do this? My ball.
To Parker. Shot from the lane won't go.
Seems like a lot of contact on that play. If I were that player, I would pull the ref over to the side, talk to him, express to him how much contact there was so he could look for that same foul call potentially the next time down the court.
The assist, number 8, Zach LaVine.
To Nick Batum. Trying to cash in. Williams' shot won't go. To Markkanen. Carter. Easy path to the rim. Now whistle, and Charlotte is going to use a timeout. But this game's in the balance, and time is of the essence. Changes coming from both sides right now. Out of bounds.
The Bull. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose. We look forward to seeing you again next time.